Hi friends, today we are going to discuss about a read-only memory. Read-only memory is a non-volatile memory and the data stored in them will not be lost once the power is switched off. So in this read-only memory or ROM, the data will not be going to be lost whenever the power supply is off. Wherein going to the volatile memories which we have studied in our previous videos, that are SRAM, DRAM cells. So all those RAM will comes under volatile memory because they will lost its data when the power supply is switched off. But in going to the ROM or read only memory, it is a non volatile one. Here the data will not be lost whenever the power is switched off. When the power is switched off, the data is not going to be lost, so it will store in itself. So that was the main advantage of read only memory in compared with random access memory, right? These read only memory are classified into four types. One is PROM, programmable read only memory. Second one is EPROM, erasable programmable read only memory. Third one is EEPROM, electrically erasable programmable read only memory. And the last one is flash memory. Is it clear to you? I repeat, these read only memory are classified into four types. One is PROM, programmable read only memory, EPROM, erasable programmable read only memory, EEPROM, electrically erasable programmable read only memory, and the fourth one is a flash memory. Is it clear to you? Right, in going to the first three, PROM, EPROM, EEPROM, all those will comes under the central processing unit, means our CPU in our laptops. So they are going to use a read only memory of these three types: PROM, EPROM, EEPROM. All those comes under the computer memory. Come under the computer memory, these PROM, EPROM and EEPROM comes under it. And then in going to the next is flash memory, where we have studied this one. This flash memory is also a one type of read only memory in our computer memory, but this flash memory was mostly used in microcontrollers, which we have studied. Microcontrollers 8051, 89C51, 89C52, SOC, all those microprocessors, ARM processors. So in all those processors, a flash type of memory is used there. Okay, next, in going to the ROM architecture, so for simple understanding, I taken here a 4 cross 4 ROM array. I repeat, for easy understanding, I considered a 4 cross 4 ROM array. We can use 16 by 16 or 8 by 8, anything else. So, but for easy understanding purpose, I used 4 cross 4 ROM array. See here, this is the structure of read only memory, which are placed in a 4 cross 4 cross bars. So this is the structure of 4 cross 4 ROM array. So here this ROM array is placed in a 4 cross 4 matrix form. So see here, It in the vertical line it is having 4 NMOS transistors. In the horizontal line it is having 4 NMOS transistors. So wherever the vertical lines MOS transistors or vertical lines are considered as word lines. I repeat, the vertical lines are there. So the vertical lines 1, 2, 3, 4 horizontal wide lines. This is vertical wide lines 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 lines is considered as word lines. And next, these horizontal wide vertical lines are considered as bit lines. These 4 lines are word lines and these 4 are bit lines. Above these NMOS 4 cross 4 ROM array, above these NMOS 4 cross 4 ROM array, I placed a PMOS circuit where the gate is connected to ground potential. I repeat, above these NMOS 4 cross 4 ROM array, a PMOS circuit is placed above this and it is considered as pull-up transistor circuit, and the lower one is a pull-down. This is a pull-up one and this is a pull-down one. I repeat, this is the pull-up one and pull-down one. Now recall our topic pseudo NMOS logic, which comes under CMOS alternative forms, which we have studied. Recall our CMOS alternative forms. Under that CMOS alternative forms, recall pseudo NMOS logic. So see here, the structure shown here represented in 4 cross 4 ROM array are placed in a pseudo NMOS logic. This total structure was connected in the form of pseudo NMOS logic. Pseudo NMOS logic means where the PMOS transistor gate is connected to the ground potential with respect to the input of NMOS transistors. So that's why this structure is placed in a pseudo NMOS logic form. See here, this PMOS is considered as pull up and NMOS transistors are considered as pull down. So these PMOS pull up devices will act as pull up. This PMOS transistor will act as pull up devices for the bit lines. So it is acting as a pull up for these bit lines, and NMOS is connected between word line and bit line. See here, this is word line, straight one. So wherever the horizontal line is there, this is our word line and this is our vertical line. So intersection of this word line and bit line consists of one transistor, and this transistor is our NMOS. Clear? I repeat, so this is our word line and this is our bit line. See carefully the mouse pointer here. This is our word line and this is my bit line. Between these two intersection there is one transistor, then that transistor is a NMOS transistor. So that's why I said that NMOS is connected between the word line as well as bit line. Is it true? Here this NMOS is connected between this word line as well as bit line. So that was I said. So when the word lines are high, what happens? When the word lines are high. So when all these lines are high, see here, all the word lines are connected to the gate potential here. So for every word line is connected to the gate potential. See carefully. So all the word lines are connected to the gate potential. So what happens? So when the word lines are high, the NMOS will be turned on. Absolutely right. Why? Because here when the word lines are high, when the word lines are high, When the word lines are high, definitely the logic 1 is applicable to all the gates in this NMOS transistor. I repeat, when the word lines are high, when the word lines are high. So what is going to be happen here? When the word lines are high, all the word lines high inputs are connected to the gate terminals of these all NMOS transistors. See carefully, this line is connected to gate. So all the word lines are connected to all the NMOS transistors gates. So whenever these word lines are high, high means is at logic 1, means absolutely VDD, or the maximum voltage of logic 1 is VDD minus V threshold point. Is it clear to you? So when the word lines are high means they are at logic 1, so how much voltage is going to be applied at the gate? Nothing but VDD minus V threshold voltage, maximum voltage. V maximum is equal to VDD minus V threshold voltage. So that's V threshold voltage is going to be applied to all the gates of these NMOS transistors. So that VDD minus V threshold voltage is going to be applied to all the NMOS transistor gates. So what happens when this maximum voltage is applied to all the gates of these transistors? So what happens, this transistor will be turned on, all these transistors are going to be turned on, and the bit lines are going to be connected to the ground potential, right? So when I am going to apply logic 1 to the word lines, all the transistors are going to be turned on and the bit lines are going to be connected to the ground potential. So in this point, if there is any absence, in this point of view, if there is any absence of NMOS transistor, so at this suitable point, when there is an absence of NMOS transistor at a cross point means where the word line and bit lines are intersected with each other. Cross point means where the word line and where the word line and bit lines are going to be intersected with each other. Okay, when there is an absence of NMOS transistor at the cross point means intersection of word and bit lines. So when there is any absence at the cross point of bit and word line, so it implies the logic 1. Okay, clear? So when there is an intersection or when there is a cross point of bit and word line, when there is absence of NMOS transistor, when there is an absence of NMOS transistors among all these 16 transistors, when there is any absence of NMOS transistors at the cross point of bit line and word line, it implies there is a logic 1 in it. So if there is an absence, there exists a logic 1 in it. Otherwise presence is there. Absence, definitely presence will be there. So under the presence, it implies a logic 0 in itself, right? So if there is any absence of NMOS logic among this transistor, so there will be an intersection point or cross point of bit and word line are going to be occurred. At that point, it implies logic 1, otherwise it will be 0, right? In this way, this data will be stored in this read only memory, right? So in going to the summary points, I've written in this format. So these are the summary points. So it consists of PMOS transistor which acts as pull up, as I said that this is acting as pull up for these bit lines. So that was the thing I've written here. It consists of PMOS transistor which acts as a pull up devices for the bit lines, and the NMOS transistor is connected between, see here, these NMOS transistors are connected between word line and bit line to the ground, right? So NMOS transistor connected between the intersection point of bit lines as well as word lines, right? When the word line is high, what happens? When the word lines is high, what happens? I said now all these NMOS transistors are going to be turned on. So same thing I have written. The NMOS transistors are going to be turned on, and hence the bit get connected to the ground. Therefore, the absence of NMOS transistor at the cross point of odd line and bit line will indicate the storage of 1. When it is in presence, storage of 0. Simple logic here is, if there is any absence in the NMOS transistor, consider it as logic 1. When there is an presence, consider it as 0. So same thing, the ROM is permanently programmed by fabricate. So it is a permanent memory. So that's why it is a permanently programmed one. So by fabricating the required NMOS transistors at the cross point for storing logic 0, while the cross points without any NMOS transistors store logic 1. So he is in this point itself it is saying that, so when there is a required NMOS transistors at the cross point, store it as logic 0, while the cross point without NMOS transistor means without NMOS transistor. See here, while the cross point without NMOS transistor means there is no NMOS transistor in it, so absence is there. So that's why it is storing logic 0. Sorry, it is storing logic 1. So here, if there is a required NMOS transistor at the cross point, store it as logic 0. So presence means logic 0, absence means logic 1. So the same thing here, required NMOS transistor at the cross point for storing logic 0. So for the cross points without any NMOS transistor, it is going to store logic 1 here. So that is all about this 4x4 ROM array, right? So for any references, please go through the textbook by VLSI design by Deva Prasad Das. So thank you very much.